Kaylin took off and pretended to be dead. Maybe some of these things are tied together, and I need to, like...
Some of the shit I did.
Yeah, I really think that it's not a bad idea for him to look into this, because it definitely is probably tied to him in some way.
That would be the foundation for the rest of the series. Like, how long ago did you say this happened? 3 months? Yeah, that was me for sure. Damn it.
Shit.
Stop opening up bad stuff. That's how the last 2 books started.
Well, apparently, that's the thing. Maybe if he left things alone, everything would just resolve itself, but no, he keeps digging further and further and making bigger and bigger problems by solving problems.
That's him.
That's the book. That's the book series, guys.
He doesn't leave it alone.
Yeah.
I'd like to introduce to you Richard picking a scab.
Well,
what scab?
At this point, the scab he's going to work on is the brilliant idea of using his knowledge of the adventures of Bonnie Day to help Berdine figure out the High to Harn version of that book, which would then give them some words to go off of to start translating this book, which appears to be some sort of journal.
Right. They know... Well, like, Richard knows for sure the words of the adventures of Bonnie Day. I don't know that he actually sat and memorized it.
Oh, he knows
like
it
he
word
did
for word.
The Book of Counted Shadows. But just that the Book of Counted Shadows situation ever happened leads me to believe that he probably knows most of the adventures of Bonnie Day by heart, too.
Yeah.
Especially it being his favorite book.
And I think that even if you don't know a book word for word, if you've read it enough times, you know most of it, and the context around the stuff that you don't remember can usually jog your memory to be like, oh, I remember how that line went bit by bit. Now,
or you know about what they're talking about.
This that they're talking about is going to take a long fucking time.
Yeah.
Like, they're acting like it'll just be a real quick, like...
We'll just translate it real quick.
Yeah, we'll just write it down from here and then write it down from there. But this is going to take forever. If they had a fucking computer, that would be great. They could just scan the shit in. The AI could take care of it. It wouldn't even be a thing. But, I mean, I don't know how quick Richard wants this information, but he's probably not going to get it as fast as he wants.
No. But yeah, what I was going to say is that because he most likely has the adventures of Bonnie Day memorized, they can literally go through word by word and try and figure out what the rest of these are. Like you were saying, it's going to take a very, very long time. And what occurred to me was that they can't even pass this off to other people.
No.
It has to be them two to do it.
Yeah.
And that's just wildly frustrating. Normally, they'd be like, okay, here, to the people that work for me, could you please translate this so I can get the knowledge? I'm going to work on some other stuff while you do that. That can't happen.
Now,
it just feels like it's slowing everything down.
Theoretically, if Richard knew the book as well as he says he knows the book, he should be able to write the book and hand it to somebody and have them do it that way.
No mistakes.
But I don't think that that's the way it's going to go. They're going to tie up the most important person in the entire world for months at a time so he can fucking translate this book. So Richard decides that now that they have this, it's time to head back out of the keep. We skip seeing the journey out because we've seen it once, and apparently they were like, no, it's going to be more of the same thing.
It's just a bunch of doors and whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nothing important happens. Richard gets through it flawlessly, and they make it back to the others, and everybody is super happy to see them. We have no idea how long this takes, by the way.
No, they probably were standing there for a long time.
Like, potentially days, because we don't even know.
Could have been.
Like, yeah, it took them a long-ass time to get down there, let alone coming back. I just thought that was interesting, that the Mord Sith and everybody were just standing in that room like, okay.
Could you imagine being in a room with a stressed-out Mord Sith? Like, if you don't come back, and they have anything on, like, if they don't like you in the least bit, I don't think they're going to turn and kill their own people, okay? I'm not going to accuse them of that, but it would still be a very terrifying thing to see. Like, if they suddenly thought Richard wasn't going to come back, and they lost their shit, because now their life has no purpose anymore, get away.
Yeah. Now, I do think it would be interesting if we would have gotten a little, like a little snippet of their time together, because we don't get a lot of that. We don't get to see a lot of Justin Mord Sith and, like, Ulick and Egan interacting. They're together a lot.
Mm-hmm.
We don't think that they were together maybe a whole lot before this, because obviously Darkin didn't really keep the Mord Sith as close as Richard does.
Yeah, no, and plus they're separate factions. They're off doing their own thing. Dark and Rawl had the Mord Sith torturing people, and the first file was the first file. They probably would have been around all the time.
Yes, I'm assuming Ulick and Egan would be his personal bodyguards,
But
probably.
the Mord Sith were doing, like, remote work.
Yeah.
Unless, well, yeah.
But it would be interesting...
Unless other things.
Yeah. But it would be interesting, I guess, to see their interactions, because Ulick and Egan are also, I mean, we don't see their personalities a whole fucking ton, but they have to be changing to a point, too. They were watching, like, a super evil guy that was, like, their ward, I guess, for a while. And now, both of the Mord Sith and Ulick and Egan and all of Dahara have a new type of leader, and they can relax a little bit and have fun or be frustrated in this situation. And I don't know, it would have been interesting just to see them all like, do you think they're fucking coming back? Or, just that conversation.
Yeah, I think Ulick and Egan, as far as their personalities go, I think they are just supposed to be, like, valiant. Like, Knight's Code,
Yeah.
I'm honorable, I'm here, I am ready and willing to die every single day, and I will do so without hesitation. And I think that's the purpose that they're supposed to serve, because we've been getting closer to the Mord Sith and seeing the more emotional side. I'm sure Ulick and Egan are having revelations like that too, but I think it was Ulick who was just like, yeah, Dark and Raw was a piece of shit. I'm happy to work for you.
Yeah.
As long as you're doing your shit for us, we're all good, and that's all the deeper it's gone so far. Because they're men. You gotta keep that emotion inside. Just grow shell.
Yeah, I just, see, it would be weird for them to see Mord Sith acting in a different way or talking to them like people. Yeah. And so I'm a little disappointed that we don't get to see a little bit more of them just being like, oh shit, you're worried about the Lord Rawl now, huh? That's weird. And have them snap back at them. I don't know. I'm gonna write a fanfic in my head now. So
Okay.
that's
Or
gonna be fun.
do us all one better. Write it on paper and then post that shit, baby.
I'll work on it. Get back to you.
Good.
Berdine immediately tells everybody else about the Marizwith down in the basement, and they start asking questions about the super dangerous potential development, and Richard brushes them all off and says they'll talk about it later. We found a journal, and we need to translate it ASAP.
I thought it was great that the first question asked was, how many of them did you have to kill? Like, oh my god, are you guys okay? Were you attacked? Was there a lot of them? Obviously, It was a flow of questions, but it was that one. Carr was like, how many did you have to,
Well,
And
you're
Richard's
here,
like,
so.
None, to make it this big revelation for everybody there. Like, no, we just didn't. They're actually pretty cool. We met Bill down there, too. Don't know where he came from, but he's around.
Yeah, we just chilled. They had a joint. We smoked it together. It was really great.
Didn't say much, though.
But I would be annoyed as fuck as his bodyguards if he came up here and was like, hey, those things that we've been having a whole bunch of issues with, yeah, they were totally down there. Didn't kill any of them. We're not going to talk about it, though. I have a book. Fuck your book. We're going to talk about what you just talked about. You were worried about those things being here, and now they were, and you're not going to talk about it?
Manic and fantastic. And he was like, yeah, no, it's good. I have a book. Which is kind of like most of us, I would assume. Yeah. Car's on fire. Whatever. I just got this book.
Yeah.
So this is my day.
I have stuff to read. I don't know what you guys are going to do. After revealing the book, Richard doesn't waste any time waiting to take Berdine's advice and apologize to Kara and Reyna for being a dick to them when they didn't deserve it. They're both super cool about it. They're like, you didn't know. But they really appreciate the hell out of him saying this, and they forgive him, obviously, right away.
He says, I didn't know then, but I know now, so it should stand to be said. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I made a mistake.
If you don't apologize when you know you should, you're an even bigger dick. So here's that. They all head out of the keep and head down back towards the city and the rest of the men. Richard sees Grandma Honey and Little Bun and ends up asking how many honey cakes they still owe him.
Just a reminder, you got a whole lot of free shit coming my way, right?
Yeah.
Still good on that?
They tell him he can have as many as he wants, and when she says it's good to see him, Richard returns the sentiment, waiting for her to say her name, because obviously you know who the fuck I am, and I just know you're the lady with the honey buns who has no teeth.
Yeah.
She tells him her name is Valdora.
Dun, dun, dun!
And the little girl is Holly. So there's for sure more going on here than we know about.
That's right. We know that Valdora was the sister of light. Wow, sister of a light. She had a light bulb. It was cool.
Yeah.
She had a brother. That was about it. No, she was a sister of the light at the Palace of the Prophets who did a glamour to herself or to another person, sounds like. But we know that the glamour is the
Make yourself
the
pretty
equal
thing, yeah.
to rape,
Yes.
right? Because it renders the other person unable to, like, resist.
Yeah.
So it's not a good thing. It seems like, it's a love spell or whatever, but it's actually kind of dark.
Yeah, I mean, we saw it happen to Richard earlier.
Right. Yeah. Oh, yes. So we know that unless he has a constitution of 20,
Yeah.
in D&D terms, you're going to go for it. And it's not good. But because she did this, she was kicked out of the Palace of the Prophets and she, like, promised vengeance on Anne.
Yes.
That is who this is.
Yes. And when we brought her up initially, like chapters ago, somebody in the comments on Facebook did mention, like, no, I think I remember what happens with her, and I kind of didn't. She sparked my memory. I kind of remember what happens with this lady now, so I'm a little excited to see where it goes.
Okay.
I don't know who the fuck Holly is, though. I don't remember that
No,
at
well,
all.
we assume granddaughter, right? That's what she was introduced
Yeah.
as. So the rest of that might be true. After she left the Palace of the Prophets, could be that she had a kid had a kid
She
got
eats-
lazy, granddaughter's not lazy, and so now we sell honey buns.
And eat liver.
And liver. Sweet liver.
Richard asks what they're doing here instead of in their normal spot over on Stenter Street, and Vale tells him that they're hoping to catch new people coming and going around the keep and into the city, since Richard is changing so much shit.
I love that they have named, in this huge town, we know the name of one road.
Yeah.
Stenter.
Yeah.
And it's like, everything happens on Stenter Street. We should, I was going to say, we should make a shirt that says, what happens on Stenter Street stays on Stenter Street.
You know, I also think it's a little bit funny, though, that Richard doesn't, like, she says she's moving here to find new people because new people are coming to Aidendrill, and he tells her that not a whole lot of people are going to be coming to the keep, probably, so I wouldn't put your hopes up, but you'll catch any new people coming into town, and I get it. She's just an old lady selling honey cakes, so he shouldn't be suspicious of her, but part of me is just like, no, this lady's a little weird, and she's now posted herself outside of the keep that you now know people are in, or things are in.
They're in town.
Yeah.
But she's like first one on the road that goes, not the road necessarily, but the way to the keep. She's right there.
Yeah, like she's watching it, basically.
Which would be a great place if the keep were full of people.
That's what she says, but
it's not.
Yeah, and he, like, why would she assume that people will be in the keep because of Richard? I know he's changing a lot of stuff, and he has magic, but there's a lot of other things preventing the keep from being full of people. Like, we don't have wizards and shit all over the place.
Right.
So why would you assume the keep is going to be populated? That's sus. You need to...
You know some stuff.
Yeah. Richard needs to keep an eye on her and just, like, see why she's there. But he's not thinking about that. He's just thinking about his honey buns.
Naturally. That's right. That's why I would make a poor seeker, because I'd be like, yeah, we're going to go figure this stuff out, guys. I'm going to translate this. Ooh, honey buns. Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Couple each. We got time.
Well, okay.
Where's that lady with the coffee?
He tells Valdora that if they give one to him and each of his little group, that's like the 6 people that he really cares about, not the soldiers.
No.
They don't get one. They will call it good.
What a dick move that would be. Like, you said as many as we need, right?
Yeah.
Guys, roll call. And you're like, 498, 499. Son of a bitch.
But how pissed off would you be if you... I get it. We're not one of the upper people. We're not one of Richard's, like, close little group. But we've been standing in the sun for however the fuck long you went into that keep.
At
We haven't
least
eaten
all
anything.
day. Yeah.
Most of us probably haven't taken a piss. We haven't left that station because, first of all, we were scared to. But second of all, we were waiting for your ass. Now you come out of here and you give your little group of people who were in the shade in the cool little fucking keep some fucking cakes and we just have to sit here and watch you eat them? Really? Okay, Lord Rolf.
Thanks.